Hey everyone, welcome back to Marbozir makes a fool of himself, I mean Kerbal Space Program. So in this part we are probably going to go to the moon, but we won't be landing on the moon just yet. We'll just get some science from orbit. Now Kerbin has two moons, Moon and Minmus, and they are both a major source of science, not only in the early game, but even in the mid game, because they have a lot of biomes. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they both have probably more biomes than Kerbin, at least as many. So, we want to bring at least 2 materials base, probably. I'm actually tempted to bring 3, but for now we'll bring 2, to get the materials bay observation from the low orbit and from high orbit, above Moon. We might go to Minmus as well, to get science from that. I definitely won't get all of science from the orbit in one trip, that's just not going to happen. I will need at least several trips to both Moon and Minmus to get all science from there. As I said, it's a major source of science, even into the mid-game. So I'm going to need a parachute over here. I might try to bring... how do I do this though? I could just add a fuel tank like this, and then add Science Junior on the sides. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Do I want to add a decoupler to the command pod? Maybe. I definitely need some reaction wheels for this. I mean, not for this stage, but in general. Right, let's just add a stack decoupler here. No one says I have to use it, but it's good to have one just in case I decide to get rid of this entire stage. Right, we're going to need science, which means I'll bring Science Junior times 2, like so. Come on. I just need to attach it properly. So this will work just fine. There we go. I also need a way to get to the surface. Or, I mean, not to the surface, but to get down a little bit. Just to collect data from this. Yeah, you can do EVA in space and then just use the jetpack. But I don't like doing that. It's very easy to just float into space. And I can just use this, the mobility enhancer. A fancy name for what it is. A little bit too fancy. So if I do it like this, I should be able to collect science from both of these modules without actually having to float around in space or use the jetpack in space. I'll need some batteries with this. I might need extra parachutes. I'll just get 2 extra parachutes like this. If I decide to get rid of this entire stage, 1 parachute on the command pod will be enough. Alright, what else? I'm going to need some batteries, that's for sure. So I can add some like this and like this, just to make sure I'll have enough. I need the Communotron, so let's add that. This goes here. What else? A thermometer? I guess so. Right, let's add 1 too. This goes here, I suppose. What else? Anything on the actual command pod? I don't think so. Oh yeah, mystery go. I might want to bring that with me. I think I'll just grab this with my final stage, or with the command pod. I see no reason not to, it's really not that heavy. So yeah, I think it's fine. The thermometer can just go somewhere here. I can bring 4 even, if I want to. Or I can just do it like this. Yeah, this works. But I can still bring 4 if I want to. Probably a bit of an overkill though, but whatever. They are not very heavy. Mass 0.005, so that's not exactly a problem. Alright, what else? Oh yeah, landing struts. Actually, do I need those? Well, kind of. If I decide to land with this entire stage back on Kerbin, then yeah, that would be useful. Let's see. I probably want 4, like this. If I could do it like that, I think I'll have to add them twice or something. Yeah, okay, so this goes here. This is not exactly optimal, by the way, but it should work just fine. So this goes here, and 2 more on the other side. I am using symmetry mode, so the other side will also get 2. This should be okay, I think. I can always just bring the command pod. and dump this entire stage. That's why I added the decoupler. So, do I want engine with this? Yes, I definitely do. Well, that's what the fuel tank is for, in case that wasn't obvious enough. Can I get the aerodynamic cones? Yes, I can. So let's add those, like this. Do I need anything else with this stage? I don't think so. I got the batteries, I got the communotron, I got all the science. I think that's all I need. I got 3 parachutes, landing struts, alright. Now I need to actually bring this into space. That would be useful. Let's see. I think I'll use T-45 at first, and then maybe the solid fuel booster. Sounds like a plan. Right, I need stack decoupler first. So let's do that. Oh yeah, and yeah, I need to remember about reaction wheel. So this goes here. Let's see, I will add some struts at the end. This is Kerbal Strut Simulator. You can't go wrong with struts. Okay, I want to actually be able to maneuver. So 2 fuel tanks should be enough, honestly. I'll add the reaction wheel before I forget about that. And the T-45 engine with this. So this goes here. I could still add more fuel tanks on the sides, and I guess I should. I could also make a whole separate stage with more fuel tanks on the sides. And that might be better. I think it's going to be better, in fact. So let's do that. I'll grab the radial decoupler. I could grab this one too, I don't think it makes a big difference. These are kind of similar. This one is actually heavier. Yep. Okay, let's use this. I only need 2, that will be enough. Yes, this goes here. Alright. I could use solid fuel boosters here, but that's probably not enough. So let's do it like that. I'll just use liquid fuel engines for this stage, and then maybe solid fuel boosters at the end. Sounds like a plan. Come on. Okay, now I can use the T-30 engine with this. I'll add the reaction wheel still, and maybe the T-30 engines. Alright. I also need to take care of this, the actual order. That might be useful. So the parachute should go here. Actually, no, it shouldn't. Well, yeah, no, it kind of should, or what? I screwed this up a little bit, I think. No, this is going to work just fine. I can always activate the parachute manually. In fact, it's best if I move this here. You can always right-click on the parachute and activate it manually, without having to activate the actual stage. Alright. So this goes here. This goes here. I don't think I screwed this up, did I? No, yeah, this is the first engine. That's the T-30. Okay, let's add some solid fuel boosters. I will need some struts. I think I'll add solid fuel boosters on the sides. That's going to be better than adding them at the bottom. Let's use this. Or is this overkill? Nah, I don't think it is. This goes here. Actually, I can do something like this. This goes here. The more solid fuel boosters, the better. And this should be enough, actually. I hope this is going to be stable enough. It doesn't look very convincing, I have to say. Even I'm not convinced. And I built this thing. I definitely wouldn't want to fly in it, that's for sure. But that's okay. I have suicide volunteers. Or one volunteer in this case. He totally volunteered on his own. And this goes here. Okay, now we need some struts. And cross limiter 70 or so. I think 70 is going to be fine. I can always adjust it if something goes wrong. Alright. So this goes here. And 70. Alright. Do I want to save this design? Probably not for now. If it works well, then I might save it. We need some struts. I don't want too many. Actually, no, not like this. Actually, yeah. Like this. I'm trying to use symmetry mode here. But I can only add it twice right now. Okay, I don't think I'll need more than this. This is enough struts. it didn't work on the other side apparently. Okay, this is not exactly what I had in mind. That's a little bit better. More straws. I don't want to overdo it with the straws, but they are not that heavy. It's 0.05. Well, yeah, that's not too heavy, but I don't want to use too many. Do I want straws on the other stage in the middle? Probably not necessary, but might as well do it just in case. I can't really see it properly. Okay, this should be fine. Famous last words. Let's see if this thing is actually going to fly. So for now I will be going straight up until I run out of fuel in the solid fuel boosters. Let's go! So I might actually speed up some of these parts, but not by using time warp, by speeding up the actual video, because it's not exactly super exciting watching this goes up. Unless something goes wrong. But if it just goes up for a minute, that's not super exciting, I realize that. Up we go! Okay, we're almost out of fuel in the solid fuel boosters, and I just realized I messed up the stages a little bit. There we go, that worked. I had to dump 2 stages, because, yeah, my decouplers were separated into 2 different stages, and that's not exactly what I had in mind. I messed this up a little bit. Yeah, this is very messed up, actually. This was supposed to be a whole stage, not a separate stage with 2 solid fuel boosters. But hey, maybe it will work. We need to start turning a little bit. So thanks to the reaction wheels, this is very easy to maneuver. And that's exactly the point. Alright. So we need enough fuel to actually get to the moon and back. We won't be landing with this just yet, we just want some science from the orbit. There's a lot of science I can get in the orbit, because I can get EVA reports over the various biomes. And as I said, there are a lot of biomes on the moon and on Minmus as well. Minmus is actually kind of easier to land on, because of significantly lower gravity. But it's a little bit further away. I haven't decided what I'm going to land on first. I probably won't be landing in this part. Oh, okay, I messed this up. No, that worked. Yeah, I just needed to activate 2 stages. Alright, let's start turning a little bit more. I should have been doing that for a while now. So, 20,000. This is probably not going to be the most perfect orbit Kerbin has ever seen. But it should be good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect, actually. Alright, up we go. Or sideways, in this case. Almost. I should have more than enough fuel to get to the moon. Get into a stable orbit and then come back to Kerbin. Are we there yet? Actually, we aren't, not even remotely close. How's our apoapsis? 30 kilometers almost. I'll cut my engines at 100 or just above 100. I should probably just go sideways soon, but it's not 30 kilometers yet. 33, 34. Okay, doing well. Almost out of fuel in this stage. I hope I took enough fuel with me, actually. I'm not convinced that I did. In fact, I don't think I took enough fuel with me. I guess we'll find out. 45. Yeah, this is not enough fuel, I don't think so. I underestimated how much fuel I'm going to need for a trip to the moon. I might just revert this flight. Yeah, okay, let's revert this flight. This is definitely not enough fuel. And fix this thing. Well, I messed up my stages and that was part of it. But yeah, I can't fix this easily now, that's the problem. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. I can try starting with proper stages, that might work a little bit better. So we can try doing it like this. I could always add more, but I can't really do it easily. How do I do this without messing up the design? Okay, I can try doing something like this. Add another fuel tank in here. Like so. Yeah, that's not going to be so easy, actually. Come on. Yeah, this is pretty hard to fix now. There we go. Did I use symmetry mode? No, I did not. Oh well. Let's try this again. Yeah, this is not so easy. There we go. That worked. Okay, now I can add the engine again. What? I'm using symmetry mode. Why is it not working properly? Which engine is that? That's the T30. And which engine is it over here? Good question. That's the one? Is this where it should be? I think so. I think I messed this up, but we'll find out. Oh yeah, I hope my engines won't break on the launch pad. They actually might. Yeah. I think they will, no? Okay, they did not. But this doesn't look very stable right now. Up we go. Oh, great. That's not exactly what I had in mind. I wonder why. Yeah, revert flight. How did that happen? Did I not attach it properly? Apparently I didn't. Huh. Okay, which ones are these? Why did it not work properly? That's a bit strange. This looks fine to me. I'm not sure what happened there, honestly. This looks fine to me. Maybe I need more struts. Clearly I need more struts. Okay, let's add more struts. Rule number 1, when in doubt, use more struts. This is Kerbal Strut Simulator. More? I don't think we need that much more. I don't want to overdo it, because I don't want to make this too heavy. I don't think that worked quite like I wanted it to. There we go, that's a little bit better. Let's add one more, because why not? Alright. Let's name this, actually. So this is a Kerbin spaceship, more struts. And let's save it. And let's start. Maybe we can get into orbit this time around. Maybe it won't fall apart, or maybe our rockets won't run away, or fly away in this case. Okay, they really don't want to go with us. I'm not sure what's happening with this. Were they not connected to the decouplers properly? I guess I'll just redo this entire stage. Alright, goodbye Strass. It's been nice knowing you. So, what was going on with that? Maybe I should use the smaller decouplers. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. So get rid of those. So the design phase can take a while sometimes, but this is actually the most fun part of the game for me. It's awesome building a crazy rocket and then seeing if you can actually take it into orbit or into some planet. That's one of the most fun parts of this game. Doing crazy designs and then actually seeing them work. So I'm actually tempted to use liquid fuel engine for one more stage and then use solid fuel booster again. That might work a little bit better. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Alright, let's try doing that then. This is probably a bit of an overkill actually, but whatever. Thing is, at one point you're not really extending your range a whole lot, because obviously I'm making this whole thing heavier, and using more parts is usually not really a good thing unless you have a very good reason. So bigger doesn't mean better. But in our space program, bigger does mean better. So one more. This is our mission statement: build the biggest rocket possible and then see if it can get into space. Come on, can we attach this? Did it work? I think it worked for like a split second, not like this. Yep, this is a little bit annoying at times. Come on. Oh, damn it. I saw it work for a moment there. Maybe there's an easier way to do this, and I'm missing it. Zoom out? Yeah, it worked for a moment there. Yeah, this can be a little bit frustrating at times. Come on. You need to go here. Okay, this is clearly not working. Come on. There we go. Finally, alright. And we need some engines. T30. I might need some reaction wheels with this. Probably don't need that many, but whatever. The more the better, right? Are they heavy? They kind of are. Okay, this is a bit of an overkill. This should be more than enough, honestly. Okay, engines. And I'll check the stages in just a second. The stages should be okay. So this goes here. These are all our engines. Okay, I want to remove all of this at the same time. So this goes here. And I should probably add some struts to this. Although I don't think this stage will need a lot of struts. Let's add some anyway, because we can. And this is called KSS more struts, right? So it needs to live up to its name. So, more struts. And right here. And right here. Okay, and add some solid fuel boosters to this. Probably a bit of an overkill, but let's add them anyway. Alright. I don't want too many though. On the other hand, this is already very heavy. So if I want my solid fuel boosters to actually be useful and not counterproductive, then I'm going to need at least 4. This is going to be 6. This goes here. This goes here. I wouldn't really want to fly this thing. Definitely not. Especially since this is going to be the first flight. Thanks to be the guy who's going. A little bit lower. Alright, and let's connect them. This should be enough. One more. Alright, I think this is fine. This goes here. And this goes here. Alright, this looks good. I'm not convinced it's going to work so well, but hey, we'll see about that. This should be one stage. Alright. And let's save this design. So, Kerbin spaceship more struts. Going to the moon. Let's go. Yeah, this doesn't look very stable. Watch it crash violently. Okay, one rocket stayed on the ground. Bye! It's been nice knowing you. Alright then. Maybe I didn't position it properly. Yeah, this doesn't look very convincing. 2 rockets stayed on the ground, alright. But we'll see, maybe it will work. I mean, if I can get into orbit, this is more than enough fuel. Or at least it should be. But this doesn't really look like something that has a right to fly at all. Not to mention go into space. Alright, next stage. Doing well so far. 3,500 meters above the ground. And still quite a lot of fuel left. I need to get into orbit with at least the 3rd stage left. If we can get into orbit with 4th or 3rd stage still active, then we should be in a good shape. So that's the goal, I suppose. Should be fine. As for the parachutes, if I click them like this, I can deploy them, as you can see, so it's fine having them all on stage 0. Do I actually need more science in here? I should make a list of all the science that I got so far or something like that. Pretty sure I got the mystery go already. Yeah, I do. Alright, I don't want to waste it. Can I actually get the temperature from here? Or do I already have it? Yeah, I already have it. Alright. I should start turning. I almost forgot about that, which is usually not a good thing. This is actually way too late to start turning, but we're already here, so whatever. This is not a very convincing launch, not at all, but we still have quite a lot of fuel. I need to get into orbit with this stage, which might not happen actually. Yeah, I waited a little bit too long before I started turning. We should probably just go horizontally almost at this stage. Yeah. Let's go like this. Actually, that's already 40 kilometers. Yeah, horizontally will be the best. 62 kilometers. Yeah, this is definitely not the most convincing launch in Kerbin's history. Can I actually get more science up here? No, probably not. Not while I'm burning, definitely not. So, how's it going? 64, 65... Yeah, I'm not convinced this will actually go to the moon and back. I overdid this rocket a little bit, if you can even call this a rocket. I probably wouldn't call it that. I can barely manage to call it a spaceship. 67. I will run out of fuel before I get into orbit. But I don't need a lot of fuel to get back from the moon to Kerbin. That's the easy part. As long as I'll have some fuel left, I'll be fine. So 74, 75. But I started turning way too late. That's why this launch is a little bit messed up. But maybe we can still salvage it. We'll see. I think I can salvage it still. Okay, now I'm a little bit too high. Okay. This is not exactly what I had in mind, actually. Well, I have to keep burning, actually. Don't really have a big choice if I don't want to crash. This is almost enough. I don't really want to go too high and I don't want to waste too much fuel doing this. But this is definitely the worst orbit ever. Again, I started turning way too late because I was busy talking. Okay, I don't think we'll crash into Kerbin like this. Should be fine. So, let's wait until we get to the periapsis. I'm going to time warp and add the maneuver node when we get closer. Alright. So, yeah, I don't think the atmosphere will drag us down. It should be okay. I don't know the exact value or the exact... Right, let's focus on this. So what we need to do now is add the maneuver node right here. And it will tell us when we get a close encounter with the moon. This is obviously a little bit too much. So I might want to drag this around a little bit, just to see. I can also set moon as my target, and then I'll get an indicator where the closest encounter is. So if I move this around a little bit, there we go, these white markers. As they move closer to each other, I get closer to actually getting to the moon. And like this. I'm not sure why it's blinking. That actually was it for a moment. No, this is not it. Yeah, this is it. So now, if I do a maneuver like this, I will get a moon encounter right here. And I will escape moon if I don't do anything. So, we'll have to do this, get the moon encounter, and then adjust our orbit to get into moon's orbit. So now I just need to wait. Node in T-minus 2 minutes. So I definitely don't want to miss it, that's for sure. I'll speed this up a little bit. There is one good mod that can help you do this, which is called Kerbal Alarm Clock. I'm not using it here. I'm not using any mods right now. I will probably start a little bit later in this series. At least that's the plan. The alarm clock is definitely one of the more useful mods, I would say. It doesn't modify the gameplay in any way, it just does what you might expect it to do. So this should be fine. Full frost. I will use quite a bit of fuel to actually do this, but I should have enough to get back to Earth. I can always do some science while in high orbit above the moon. But I'm hoping to get into low orbit to do some EVA reports, that would be best. Let's slow this down a bit. And kill the engine. Adjust this. There we go. I had it for a moment. Am I too far? Yes, I'm actually a little bit too far now. Okay. Let's try to adjust it a bit. Why is this disappearing? I'm not quite sure why it's disappearing. Okay, that's a bit odd. I think I need to burn retrograde. I'm not sure why it's blinking, that's a bit strange. Yeah, okay, I need to just burn more. A little bit more. I'll remove this because it's a little bit confusing sometimes to see if the encounter that you're getting is on your actual maneuver No, this is not working actually. Yes, clearly not. Let's do this again then. I'm not sure what's up with the blinking maneuver nodes. I had this happen before and it was very irritating. I have no idea what's going on with that. I can't even move this around properly. I have no idea what's going on with this. I might just use time warp for a bit and see what happens. I have no idea how to fix this. I'm not using any fuel, so it's fine. Let's try this again. I can just remove Mon as my focus. That might be causing it. Let's try without that. So... come on. There we go. That will work. I need to burn as little fuel as possible though. Okay, let's try it like that then. Now we need some time warp. Come on. Can we turn yet? Why can't I turn? Oh, did I run out of... No, we have electric charge. Oh, I'm using time warp still, right. That's why I couldn't turn. That makes sense. Did I lose my maneuver node? No, I didn't. At least turning this thing is extremely easy thanks to the reaction wheel. So node in T-minus 29 minutes. Let's speed this up a bit. That's a bit too much. It's very easy to miss this if you speed up too much. It's not a big deal if I miss this right now, but sometimes you only get one chance. Okay, I don't need to use a lot of fuel for this, just a tiny little bit. So I'm not using 100% throttle, that's not necessary here. I just need to adjust it a tiny little bit, like so. And that's enough, there we go. Okay, I'm not sure why it's blinking still, but we will actually get Moon encounter like this. Or will we? Now it's gone? Okay, I'm confused now. This is clearly some kind of bug. And it's a little bit annoying. Yeah, this is a little bit irritating. I'm not sure what to do with this. I guess I'll just use time warp for now. I'm not sure what's up with this. I really don't. Okay, yeah, we will get a Moon encounter. But that was a little bit strange. I can't use time warp more than times 4 because, yeah, we're at 65 kilometers above Kerbin only. Okay, I think I have enough fuel to get into low orbit and then get back to Kerbin. Yeah, we do have a lot of fuel. Come on, can we get out of here yet? Any day now. I still can't use time warp higher than times 4. 120, 130, are we there yet? 150? I still can't use time warp. I think I need to wait until 240, I'm not sure anymore. This is going to take a while on time warp 4. I think I need to wait until 240. No, I still can't use time warp higher than times 4. What? Why not? There we go. Okay, that was a bit strange. So I definitely don't want to overshoot it because I won't get another chance. This is where the alarm clock is very useful. If I miss this, I won't get a second chance. Or at least not without wasting more fuel. Lot more fuel. Okay, so what we need to do now is get into stable orbit around the moon. There we go. So now we'll need to use some fuel over here. And burn retrograde. Like this. At least it's not blinking anymore. So that's nice. Okay, I don't remember the exact value of the low orbit around the moon, but 40 kilometers should be low orbit easily. 50 kilometers should be low orbit easily. I don't want to use too much fuel for this, as I already said. So 41, 50. I think Minmos is around 30, from what I remember. But in case of Moon, the low orbit limit is a little bit higher. We'll find out. So I can't miss this maneuver either, for obvious reasons, because I will just escape. And I definitely don't want that. Come on, a little bit more. Yeah, this is a little bit too far. But it's fine. I don't need too much fuel for this, but I will use quite a bit. I want EVA reports from low orbit, so I definitely want to get into low orbit. I don't want to crash into the moon though, that would be unfortunate. 28. That's a little bit too high. I want to go below 50. Okay, this is definitely going to be low orbit. So now we want to get some science. I can get the materials bay and the mystery go observation in both high orbit and low orbit. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. Material study while in space high over the moon. So we'll take that and we'll do the same with the mystery go. This should be some really good science. Let's do that again. Again, we're not landing on the moon, that's not the goal here. The time for that will come. I'm actually hoping to get more technologies before I actually make a landing attempt. I can get a lot of science just from the orbit around the moon and Minmos before I even bother trying to land. Oh yeah, EVA report and crew report, I almost forgot about that. This is still high orbit, so high in space. EVA report. Grab this again. There we go. I will take the data. I should probably take the data from the materials bay, just in case I decide to get rid of this entire stage before I land. So can I collect that? No, I can't. I actually have to use my jetpack for this, which I really dislike doing because it's so easy to just float into space. I will do a quick... oh yeah, I can't do a quick save on the ladder. I'll just get back in real quick. Okay, let's try doing that then. I really dislike using the jetpack in space. Again, it's super easy to just float off into space. You have to be super careful. So I activated that. Yeah, I'm already kind of floating off. Yeah. This is why I dislike using that. And now I pretty much can't get back. This is extremely sensitive. And this part is probably the most, I don't know, frustrating part of the game. This is the only part of the game that I really strongly dislike, I have to say. Yeah, now I have to use quick load because this mission would be over otherwise. So I won't be doing this, definitely not. Let's just focus on getting our science. I can try to land with this entire stage. I did try to get the whole spacewalk thing right, but I spent way too much time doing that. It's easier to just work around it than waste 3 hours doing that. So this is still high orbit, I think. I just want to get below 50. Okay, this should be fine. Now we need to get as much science as possible. Yeah, okay, this is low orbit. So we need all the science here. EVA report. Like this. Collect data. And get back in. Now we need the materials bay. Like so. And the mystery go. I'll try to remove the materials bay data one more time. Let's see, can I really not get this? I thought this is going to be close enough to actually collect it from the ladder, but apparently not. That's unfortunate. Let's try a quick save one more time and try to use a jetpack again. Okay, so these jetpack controls are extremely sensitive, as I said. You need to be so careful with that. Let's go this way a little bit. Come on. I still can't do it. There we go, collect data, and now I'm too far away. Come on. Yeah, I really dislike doing this. I'm still not close enough, I'm pretty much touching it. But I can't do it. Yep, I can't do it. This was not close enough apparently. Alright, let's just get back in before I float into space again. So now we can go back. We have all the data that we came for. I could transmit the reports just in case I crash. That's not a bad idea. At least the ones I will get 100% from. So let's do exactly that. I do have more than enough electric power. Or electric charge. So I will transmit everything that I'll get 100% from. Which means everything besides the mystery go. At least all the reports that I got in here. I don't need to collect the data from the mystery go because that's attached to my actual command pod. So even if I decide to dump this stage because I ran out of fuel, for example, that will be okay. Let's try this one more time. But I won't be bothering with that too much. Okay, activate the jetpack. Yeah, I'm already floating off into space. Or in this case, my ship is floating away from me. Come on. Yep, I screwed it up already. This is easily the most frustrating part of the entire game. No question about that. Yeah, I won't be doing this, that's for sure. This is the part of the game that I just try to work around. Because you can spend literally hours trying to get the jetpack right. At least I did that before. Okay, so now what we want to do is add a maneuver node roughly around here. And we need to escape moon first. So let's do that. Actually, there should be a better way of doing this. No, this is still going to be best. Okay, well, this is going to be enough. All we need to do for now is just escape moon. It doesn't really need to be precise. And then I'll get into orbit around Kerbin. Not in T plus 46 minutes. Yeah, I overshot it a bit. Actually, I'm not even going to use the maneuver node for this. I'm just going to burn prograde. Because that's pretty much what we need to do right now. I'll just remove this. I should have more than enough fuel left. Okay, now we will burn prograde. How much fuel do we have? Not a lot in this stage, but that should be fine. So this little ship should give us quite a lot of science, hopefully. Might even be around 200. Okay, now we will wait until we actually escape the moon and adjust our orbit to get back to Kerbin. So a little bit longer. Okay, there we go. Now we need to adjust our orbit. So burn retrograde here. We can actually encounter the moon again, but obviously that's not what we want to do here. Alright, I don't actually need to crash into Kerbin. I can just go into the atmosphere on the other side. And the atmosphere will do the rest. So 31 kilometers above Kerbin will be more than fine. I can land like that easily. Now we just need to wait. Oh yeah, node in T minus 10 seconds. We need to burn right here. I will have to dump this stage in the middle of the maneuver. So I need to pay attention to that. But this is more than enough fuel. So dump this. And let's go. I can remove this node now. Pretty much. I just need to pay attention to my apoapsis. How's our fuel? Doing fine. We might actually get caught by the moon again, apparently. I hope not, because that's not what I want to achieve here. Come on, hurry up. Come on. I don't want to be here. Moon encounter in 22 minutes. Never mind then. This is going to be fine. There we go. This is actually a bit too much. Yep. Now we need to speed up. And all we need to do now is just land successfully without crashing. Which shouldn't be too complicated. Okay, I think I used time warp. Yeah, I used time warp too much. Right. That's not what I wanted to achieve, clearly. Am I in orbit around the moon again? Yeah, okay, I used time warp too much, so this actually didn't work. The game is supposed to slow you down when you're low enough, but apparently that didn't happen. I do have a quick save, I guess I'll just use that. I don't like doing it, but clearly I don't really have a big choice here. Alright, I had to load autosave, so let's do this again. Properly this time. So I'm not going to use the maneuver node, it's not really necessary. I'll just start burning prograde right here. Although this is not exactly the best way to do it, technically. Right, let's use that maneuver node after all. So, I can move this around a little bit. This should be the best way to do it. Right. That's actually it, or it should be. I don't need to be 100% precise though. I also don't want to go too far. Okay, let's do it like this. This should work just fine. So, prograde vector. Not in 6 minutes, but this should be okay. And let's do it. I'll escape Moon first, and then adjust my orbit. But I'll wait a little bit longer this time around. Okay, this should be fine. We won't get caught by the Moon. And I'll try not to time warp to 100,000. Alright. Now we need to adjust this a little bit. Actually, it's going to be far easier to just wait until we're on the other side and then lower our periapsis. That would be the most fuel efficient way. Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, this is definitely the most fuel efficient way. And now we won't even need to use that much fuel. But let's make sure. Yeah, this is fine. Not in 2 hours. I could really use the alarm clock right about now, the mod that is. Okay, 4 minutes. Doesn't need to be super precise. So let's do it now. I won't need a lot of fuel for this. Do we have fuel? Oh yeah, we're out of fuel now, alright. And this is fine, 56, that's a bit too much. 29. Yep, this is actually a little bit too much. So now I'll try not to time warp to 100,000 because then we will definitely overshoot. 1,000 should be enough, I'll just need to wait a bit. I'll speed it up a tiny little bit and then slow it down. Okay, let's not overdo it. We're getting close. What's up, Kerbin? We're coming back. There it is. Now we still need to land properly. The atmosphere will do the rest though. So I will land with this entire stage. Because I didn't remove the data from the materials bay. So I do not want to dump this stage. I will just activate all my parachutes manually. You can just right click on them. Unfortunately it's very dark, that's because, well, I'm on the other side, there's no sun over here, it's night time, that's why it's so dark. I can't really do a whole lot about that other than land during daytime. But hey, I won't be picky, we're coming back from the moon, from the first mission, with science. Time warp 4. I'm not activating the parachutes yet. 3 parachutes should be more than enough for this. Yeah, it definitely is. Looks like we might land in the water. Okay, we're low enough for the parachutes now. So I can't click them on this thing. I'll just have to click them like this. So there's the first one. There's the second one and one more. You do have to deploy them all manually, all 3. So I had to click on all 3 to make this happen. Okay, we will run in the water, which means I don't really need the landing gear. Yeah, this is not necessary, that's for sure. And I will not be using time warp right now. I will just speed up the video itself. And here we are, Kerbin spaceship Marbozir returned from the first mission to the moon. This should give us quite a lot of science. Hopefully at least 100. Maybe a little bit less. We're about to find out. Okay, 226. Okay, that's even more than I thought. We got 332 science. We can buy at least a few technologies. These are 90 each. So before I decide what exactly I'm going to buy, actually I'm just going to decide that in the next part. So this one is done. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.